Hello, everyone. Hope you are doing well. I am Tina. This is my son, Zachary.
Hey,
And we are coming together to share with you our health journey and give you some insight on what we've gone through and hopefully um, encourage you or inspire you to want to make changes for your life. And if there's anything we can help you with after this, we would be more than glad to share or help and assist in any way that we can. So I will go ahead and start off with Zachary. You want to go ahead and share a little bit of why you wanted to start on a health journey?
uh, so one of the main reasons why I wanted to start on a health journey was it was like after high school, and I weighed about because I played football, so I was like O lineman, so I weighed about like 290, 295. They wanted to beef us up, and then after high school, I went straight into Amazon and all that, and of course, in the warehouse, it's a lot of walking stuff, and I just felt really out of breath and all that. Some of the times, like just using pallet jacks and all that. So I wanted to like really change my lifestyle and try to do better and be a little bit more healthier, fit, where I'm able to do this job and not being hurt because my legs were killing me, knees, everything. Like it was taking forever to like recover. So I was just looking at videos and stuff, just scrolling on YouTube and stuff, and I found a video that was called The Game Changers, and they said it was on Netflix. And I was like, I gotta check this out. And so when I started watching it, like if you haven't seen Game Changers, go watch Game Changers. It's on Netflix. Really good documentary about, plant-based, what it does and how like they ran tests with different people and all that. I won't get really into it, but the person who did it really did went over with everybody, like, big people, older people, skinny people, athletes of all sorts around the world. But so after watching that video, I was like, man, I really want to try that because I was like the recovery time and all that, and literally all it looked like good food too. So I was like, why not try? Like, what do I have to lose? And then I brought it to y'all. I remember bringing it to y'all. We watched it, and then we just said, let's try it. So I know it took like a few months getting into it, getting changed and all that. Like the first 2 weeks changing was a little bit to get used to because your body's so used to eating what you're used to, which is like all like we used to eat processed stuff, fish sticks, out to eat and all that, steaks and all that. So
Yeah.
getting your body to change from that to eating healthier, which is like home cooked meals and stuff, just eating fruits, salads and all that, which I never really did. I was a picky eater. But oh my God, after I changed it, my whole taste buds, palate, and all that changed. I wasn't a picky eater. I eat food, whatever she makes, I eat, and she gets mad sometimes that I eat all the food just because it's really good. Like no lie, like it is really good, and I could eat it every day. So yeah, but roughly, yeah, to sum it up, that's what watching the video Game Changers, and then we started as a family. It helps when you have people too, like not by yourself,
Yes.
but yeah, if you can get people with you to help you push each other and all that, staying on it, it really helps a lot. I think that's what helped us too, is that the four of us, we kept each other in check. Like, hey, what are you doing? Don't go eat that fast food. What are you doing? Put that down. So,
Yeah.
and it takes like they say like bad habits, 2 weeks or so to like break a bad habit. After that, we just started rolling. So, yeah.
And it was an adjustment. I mean, even for me, cooking and stuff, learning and trying to make the meals healthier. So we started with what we liked and being able to go in and, it's me checking out recipes and trying to see how I can tweak it and make it healthier. And it was an adjustment because not everything turned out so great to start with. We're like, oh,
No,
some of the stuff, no, that didn't taste good.
because we never
But
cooked with it before.
exactly. And so your taste buds are really like, what are you doing? This is not what we're used to having in processing. So when he came and shared the documentary, it really was an eye opener and trying and just seeing what the other athletes and the other individuals went through and seeing the changes that they made. And it was really inspiring. We've been very grateful for Zachary bringing and sharing the documentary to us because if any of you know myself, I mean, when I do things, I jump in with both feet. I don't just do it halfway. If we're going to go and try something, we're going to do it right from the get-go and see how it, goes from there. Because that's the only way you're going to get the best effect.
Oh yeah.
And really know if this is something we can
Hmm.
keep consistently doing. And the more that we learned, the more that we worked with it, it really made it easier. And of course, by that time, it was close. COVID was
That was
came
big.
aboard, and so it really made the process easier for us to make those changes.
Oh yeah.
And then of course, I had to pivot with my work and got into health and nutrition. And I'm very grateful to be able to do that because I've learned so much to be able to help our family be able to eat better and us, dropping the weight and omitting
Mhm.
chronic pain and the inflammation in our bodies. So going back to the documentary, Zach, what I know you mentioned, it helped them, heal and stuff like that really well. But what are your thoughts on the healthier lifestyle that we have taken on? Have you been happy with it? What changes and stuff has it, made for you to where
Yeah.
people ask you, well, what are you doing or why are you doing what you're doing?
Oh yeah. I've had a lot of people, like, even when I used to work at Amazon and stuff too, like they saw me when I was big, and then I had quit and then kind of came back like a few months later and stuff. And that's when he said whenever we got it, it happened during COVID and all that. And myself, I had COVID twice, but the first time I got it, I literally just stayed home. She would bring me food, and I didn't lift weights or anything. All I did was lift food in my mouth. That's all I did. Eat. And that's what helped me lose the weight. Literally, like, I didn't lift the weight at all. All I did was eat, lost the weight, and I gained it helped me go through COVID too. I felt like crap through COVID and all that, but it literally cured me. I didn't take any medicine, but just eating food helped me within 2 weeks. Got my taste buds back, got my smell back because I had lost it. And I feel like it really helped me. And so losing all that weight when I came back, people didn't even recognize me. Like, like we had a badge and stuff, a picture of our badges, and they always kept the big picture of me, the big picture, and no one recognized me when I came in because I lost over, I think it was, I went from 295 at the time, went down to 200. So I lost 95, close to 100 pounds within 3 to 4 months. And just losing all that, no one recognized me when I came back. They're like, Zach? I was like, yeah. And they're like, we didn't even the only thing they recognized me was the tattoos that I had. That's the only thing, the reason why they recognized me was that. So doing that journey, noticing that people didn't recognize me because I lost all the weight and I was looking good too, and I felt good, able to run miles. Like, I was never a runner, never, like, couldn't do handstands, none of that. But now that I've changed, I'm able to run for miles and stuff without even hurting, ride bicycles, lift, do handstands, like do like basically like calisthenics workouts that I've never done in my life because I could never lift my body weight. And so now that it's changed, my body weight has gone down. I'm getting more muscular just working with my body weight and stuff. So I would say that changing a plant based has helped me in the long run of being healthier, more fit, and just mentally prepared, mentally changed, and all that and stuff too. So it has helped a lot.
Well,
Yeah.
especially in your martial arts,
Oh
you're
yeah.
able to jump fairly high and all that, just like you
Mhm.
did when you were little. But
Yeah.
they used to call him Grasshopper, and some
Yeah.
still do because
Yeah.
those that are still around in the club.
They remember.
And he could jump. They'd stretch a rope across, or a belt is what it is, not a rope, across the room, and he'd literally be the one that could jump the highest and over it. And
Yeah.
so that's
It's
where he
kind of
got
like,
the nickname Grasshopper.
yeah. It was like doing
But
like track jumping over.
yes. So again, um, what would you recommend for others that are on the fence and that are wanting to do better for themselves and making changes slowly? What would you recommend, for folks that are your age and even
Yeah.
younger? I mean, because you attract kids all the time.
Not in the work.
But
Yeah. Kids love me.
but
Like
what,
yeah.
yeah, what would you encourage them to do for themselves if they're interested in wanting to make the
Oh.
changes and be happier and healthier?
Oh, well, the first thing I would say is, like, if you are wanting to change and all that, I would say, like, bring it to your parents because, like, unless you like really love cooking and all that, mostly when you're younger and that the parents do the cooking. So I would say bring it to their attention. Be like, hey, I want to try, like, incorporate little things at a time. Like, if you want to try a fruit bowl or just different salads or other stuff that we eat, like lentils, beans, any type of that, ask them, be like, hey, can we incorporate this in the food? You don't have to change all the way over because it is a little bit hard to try to just jump in both feet, trying to like just dive in. You want to do little by little, let the body adjust. But I will say, yeah, trying to transition, especially when you're younger too. Like if you get adapted to it when you're younger, you're just used to it the rest of your life, and it will help you grow and stuff, help you recover, especially when you're young, because younger bodies too, they like more flexible, you can recover more, you do a lot of things when you're young, so why not start younger, get into it, because once you get older it's downhill. I was like, you'd be lucky if you hurt something, try to recover within a few months. I was like, so I'd say incorporate it. And also if you like find foods that you used to like, say like I used to love breakfast, so or I still do, but like a sausage biscuit or eggs. That was always my go-to. I loved eggs. Try incorporating like what we do is we make tempeh, make our own biscuits, and that's like our breakfast. And then we just make oats and stuff too. But yeah, just incorporate whatever you used to eat. There's always recipes online to try to look up to try to incorporate healthier stuff. And sometimes like when I did transition first, like the first thing I ate was like a tempeh burger. And I was like, oh my God, this tastes better than a burger. Like the way we made it and stuff. There's a lot of trial and error, but once we made like that perfect one, it was really, I never went back to burgers. Like I still, and I will not, I do not miss meat at all. So, but yeah, try to transition if you can. Like what is there to lose? That's why I say, what is there to lose? Try it. And what helps too is like you don't have to, what helped me is you don't have to count the calories. Like that's why I always hated doing the diets, trying to count the calories. You take this much intake, you do this. I was like, it was just a lot of, in my head, it was just a lot of work. So when I transitioned to plant-based, we could eat what we wanted until we are contempt, and we just dropped the pounds like that. I didn't even count what I ate. I just ate whatever my mom made it for dinner, lunch, breakfast, whatever. Ate, and then we just started losing the pounds. We didn't even count what we ate. We just ate until we're hungry,
It's
contempt.
true.
That was it. Like
It's true.
we didn't count calories. I don't need no scale.
It's very true. I mean, I've been a yo-yo dieter all my life, since I was a kid, and we worry about our self-esteem, what we look like, what others think of us. And so dealing with that throughout my whole life, when I found this and knowing that I didn't have to count calories, I didn't have to, deal with watching, weighing myself, stuff like that, and that it came off naturally. To me, that was a no-brainer. It was so much easier to be able to release the weight. As a family as a whole, we've lost over 200 pounds. I myself, I'm proud to say I've been able to manage and keep off 50 pounds. I've never been able to do that. And I've been doing that for almost a little over 3 years now. So,
Yeah.
yes, your weight will fluctuate, but to be able to maintain it for that long and not have it, gain it all back right after you've lost weight is phenomenal. So again, learning to eat that nutrient dense food and having all four of us doing it together has been a blessing. And we really, really recommend, our youngsters nowadays, we really need to encourage more fruits and vegetables, especially the leafy greens and stuff. And I know they don't like them, but there's ways to put them in the meals so they get those benefits of the high fiber, because that's what helps push everything through our systems. The more fiber in our food that we get, the better. Doing the meats and the dairies and all of that and the processed food, all it's doing is slowing down. And it's just, that's what's creating us people gaining weight. So the more we can reduce that intake of those items, better our health will be overall. And we can also control a lot of the autoimmune issues that people are dealing with and the disease that are out there. So, you know, there's nothing to lose, like Zachariah said. It's worth that change. Especially many of us as we get older, we get that visceral fat in the center around our major organs, and we really need to work on getting those down because it's not good for us to carry that around there. And over time, it's going to make it harder as far as being able to, do things as well as move. So, Zachary, since we've been on this journey, how do you feel as far as do you feel like you're always being judged by what you do? I mean, I know in the real world everybody always judges everybody, but do you feel
Yeah.
like, you know, does that bother you? Or, how do you turn it around and make it a positive to be able to share with others, that this is something that's doable and it doesn't have to be hard. And there
Yeah.
are many of us that are here for moral support and guidance if they're interested.
Yeah. So I will say, like, in any world, like this whole world, everybody judges other people, which I get because it's like part of judging is like curiosity. So people have judged me when I say, "Oh yeah, I'm plant based." They're like, "Oh, you why don't you eat a 3 pound steak and do all that?" I'm like, because I've done it before. So I was like, it didn't work for me. It made me feel tired. I didn't like it. And I will say the best thing, like what they say, action, like do show action over words. There's another saying, but it's like that. Yeah, show action over words is basically like once I lost the weight and stuff, like I never told anybody what I was doing, and people started asking me like, "Oh my god, what are you doing? Like you look so good. What'd you do?" I would just say I transitioned over to plant based, and they're like, "What is that? Like vegetarian, vegan?" I usually just say plant based because I feel like it's like a mix of both because we got away from the dairy, we're vegetarian, we got away from all the process, all the meat, all the dairy, animal stuff. So I feel like it's like a mix of both. So that's what I always say. So when people try to like judge and stuff, like they can judge, but what they look at you first is the change. Like, oh my god, how did you do that? And then you say, oh yeah, I went plant based, and you're like, oh that doesn't work. I'm like, but you just said I look good, so it must have worked because you just complimented me. So I was like, what are you doing? So I will say that I was like, there's always people out there that are gonna judge, but I will like try it. What's there to hurt? The best thing to do to make them like be quiet is to show results. And that's what people always say too. And it's not going to happen right away. You have to be consistent with it. And once you do, it drops like that. It is being plant-based. It's life changing. Like when we go to like farmers market and all that, I never knew there were so many people that were plant-based, and where I thought it was like hidden and stuff. Like it was like secret passageways, like trying to find people that do it. Now there's a lot of people out there. It's just once you find that one person, or even like on Facebook where you meet that one person, or you go to a farmer's market, you talk like, oh yeah, plant based. You meet so many people and they have so many connections. Like, oh yeah, I make sourdough bread. I do this. I grow my own stuff. So much of a life changing, and it's a lot easier too because it's like you don't have to like people are like, oh my god, it's expensive eating healthy and all that. Not if you love doing it, and also like farmers market, they like you go there, some of the stuff is like cheap, but if you decide to grow your own plants, like what we do, we have our own garden and stuff. It's a lot easier to like grow stuff, save money. It's an investment, but it really helps in the long run. So overall, don't let people judge you. Try it out. What's there to hurt? The worst thing they can say is like, "Oh my god, what do you look so great? What'd you do?" "Oh, I went plant based. Why don't you try it?" "Oh, no, I can't do that." "Why not?" You always have a choice, so why not choose this? Or choose to try it, see if it does. Everybody's body is different. I understand that, but I do believe this process, doing plant based and all that, helps everybody's body because food is our medicine. Everything we eat will help us, so why not try?
Well, and we're walking the talk. I mean, we're
Yeah.
we're we're living proof to show that it does work. And again, trying to help others make this a habit because we've seen, many that we're associated with change and just people making compliments on how our skin, because if you're one or if you have a child or anything that deals with acne and stuff like that, eating the healthy foods is going to help clear their complexion,
Oh yeah.
so you want to consider doing that. And it helps, with aging and stuff like that too. We're not going to see the aging and stuff because I've had many people, are surprised at my age and they're thinking that I'm actually younger than I look. So again, there's a lot of things, and it's just wanting to incorporate healthier options and understand whether you're, vegan or vegetarian. I know there's many products out there that they're saying they're vegan or vegetarian, but they're also processed. So you've really got to learn the labels, reading them, and understanding what you're taking in, and knowing that not all of those, again, processed vegan dishes are actually good for us because that's just another version of processed food, even though they're saying it's vegan. So plant-based, it's whole food and it's just food in its natural state. There's no modification. So the more that you can get that in the whole foods, the leafy greens primarily, for the high fiber counts, spinach, Swiss chard. many of the lettuces, there's so much. The more that we can get that in, the better you're able to help yourself. So, wrapping this up, would you say, Zachary, has going plant-based really been that difficult? Do you, I mean, I personally have been very blessed and happy that we've made the change and that we've
Oh
all
yeah.
been able to do it. But what are your last things that you'd like to share, or, as far as working with plant-based?
I will overall it has changed for the better, all of us like being more
Mhm.
healthier and stuff, especially like I try to spread the word because everyone wants to be with their loved ones for as long as they can, and so I feel like this is a good way to help people stay healthy, stay fit. Like if you're a grandparent, you want to go fishing with your grandchild, able to move around and not have a back problem and stuff, things like that. So I really do feel like plant-based has helped me mentally, physically, everything. And even like our family too. Like one story like I'll show is that like even my mom knows I was never a reader when I was younger. It was always my sister. I could never read a book and comprehend it. Like people say, like there's people see a movie in their head and all that and able to picture it. I was never able to do that. That was always my sister. I always liked watching the movies, video games. That was me. I was a visual person. But after changing, and that's why I say like incorporate it with your young ones too, because it does help. And so when I had changed, my mind was it cleared up like a lot. And I was borderline diabetic, ADHD, dyslexia, and all that. Once I had changed to plant based, all of it mostly all like basically all of it went away, and I was surprised too because like the first book I was able to read, I started getting interested in books, and the first thing I read was a Stephen King book called The Danger Zone. Finished it within a week, and I was the fastest I've ever read a book. So I literally right then and there it changed. I noticed the change, but it wasn't until months later. Like when you first transition over to it, yeah, it's gonna be a little bit difficult because your body's not used to it, but you have to accept the change, let your body do what it's doing, kicking out all the bad toxins that you used to eat. It's kicking in all the good stuff. Once it's that, then it's just repetition consecutively. You just keep doing, eating the good stuff, and
Mhm.
you'll see results within I'll say like a month or sooner because you have to
Yeah.
depending on how much bad stuff you ate, like we did, your
Mhm.
body has to kick out all the bad stuff. So once it does all
Yeah.
that, then you're able to see the results and all that, start losing the weight, able to do stuff you've never done before. Like literally one thing, like once you notice one thing, you're like, oh my God, I've never been able to do this. What happened? Plant based. But
Well, and
yeah,
our
but
moods change too a lot.
oh yeah,
We,
move.
the moods, definitely, the food really affects our moods and how we interacted with each other and stuff too. We
Oh
weren't
yeah.
crabby. We weren't, now it's more joking and stuff like that. It just changes the whole,
Mm-hmm.
um, our whole process and then how we interact with one another. So it does so much for ourselves as an individual. It really
Mm-hmm.
does. Food does really do so much if you're willing to make the effort to eat healthier. Because you can still be with your friends and have great meals and stuff. Just try altering them and get everybody on board. And the more that we do that, the more successful we will be as a community, as well as helping others be able to make those life changes and just be healthier, live longer, and enjoy
Mm-hmm.
everyone much longer as well.
Yeah, like I'm not telling people like force them like, hey, do this or
No.
else like we're just trying to spread the word. Like I'm like sometimes like when I watch videos of people like, oh yeah, do this, weight loss, and all that. Sometimes I don't believe it because I'm like, okay, that's just ads. You're paid to do that, but no one's paying me to say this. I want to say all this and stuff, like what's happened to me, share my experience because it's a blessing it happened to us, and I want it to continue. And so I want to just share people like this can happen to anybody as long as you're
Yeah.
consecutively doing it. You love food, which I'm pretty sure everybody loves. Any type of
Hmm.
food, you will love this. So
Yes.
why not change it for the better. So we're just trying to spread the word, share the love. If I found the secret of this, I wouldn't be like the person trying to like, oh no, don't tell nobody. I'm keeping this for myself. No, I want to share this for everybody. Like I'm not making money off of this, just keeping it for myself or sharing it. I just want to share because I want to help the world, share what we know. So knowledge is power.
Knowledge is power.
Yep.
So again, we're here to help. If anyone has any questions or wants to reach out to us, we'll be more than glad to be able to visit with you and help in any way that we can. There is a growing community of whole food plant-based eaters and survivors, and we'd love to have you join us. And again, reach out and comment below. Thank
Mhm.
you.
Tell us what you think. Bye.
Bye.